For landlords, by landlords. The Rent Perfect Podcast with David Pickron.
Well, welcome. Thank you for being here with us at another episode of the Rent Perfect Podcast. Pretty exciting day today, Scott.
It's wonderful. I'm so excited.
We have a great guest with us, Mike Del Prete, Executive Director of AZREIA, Arizona Real Estate Investment Association. Mike, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me, man.
Listen, when you think of Phoenix, Arizona, and where do you go to get an education, whether you're fix and flipping, long-term holding, you're doing a little bit of creative financing or anything like that, you think of AZREIA, you think of Mike Del Prete. And we're going to talk a little bit about why you should be a member of a REIA. So if you're not here in Arizona, you should be a member of your local REIA because there is so much to offer. You can't go to your college and learn how to become a landlord, a fix and flip. There's no classes. This is the place to be, which here in Arizona is AZREIA and around the country.
This is boots on ground training.
Yeah, because,
right?
My whole life, you guys have probably heard this. If you want to be wealthy or if you want to be something, hang around people who are wealthy or
doing
the
stuff.
way
Yeah,
you want
doing
to
the
do
stuff
it.
you want to do. Yep.
And I'll tell you what, I was just at AZREIA the other night, and man, there's some people there. I mean, you can tell when you walk in the room, there are people there that have found success. There are people there that help. There are vendors there. There are all kinds of people. It's just a community of, if you give your REIA the proper attention, it will give you a lot of attention. And so, Mike, we want to talk to you a little bit about your successful REIA over there, because I know we do business to make money, but I also know you love just to help and educate and just be part of so many people's lives that's just getting ahead in life. And I know that's a big part of what you do. So I look forward to hearing that from you. But so thank you for being here today. Hey, we've got some good stuff here on the Rent Perfect Podcast. I mean, hey, just a side note, we talked crypto last time.
Yeah.
And I had some comments that, people are like, what are you doing crypto? You're supposed to be rent. And it was just about where to put your money in between buying your real estate. Right?
Hey, I will tell you, since that episode, I'm riding pretty high, my friend.
And
so
then
I've
had
seen
other
the kick
people,
up. Yeah.
right, and then I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
And then, hey, you naysayers, I had other people going, Dave, thank you so much for that. So anyways, if you don't know what we're talking about, go back an episode or two ago. Not telling you to leave real estate and go to crypto. I am not saying that. I'm just saying if you need a place to put your money and make a little money in between deals, might not be.
Mike's going to take care of all those stuff today, though. He's going to tell us where to put that stuff.
So I digress. Let's move on. I had to get that off my. I mean, I guess if you're just in the public, you're going to take a beating either way, right?
Yep.
So, anyways, hey Mike, when tell me about somebody new. They want to get into, say, fix and flipping, or you hear so many people say, I want to become a landlord. I want to own something. Tell me their experience when they first come to. I know you have several meetings a month, but the main meeting. Tell me they walk in the front door. Tell me what you set up for them. What do they find? What do they see? Why should someone listening to this podcast that wants to get into this come to your REIA?
Great question. All right. So right now you're probably thinking, if I'm going to go to the local REIA meeting, the big meeting, before you even walk up to the front door and open the door and go, wow, you're like, no one's going to want to listen to me. No one's going to believe me. No one's going to waste their time with me. Everyone's going to be a millionaire. There's going to be Lamborghinis outside. That's usually the first thought if you're newer to real estate.
Right.
So I will say that's the exact opposite of what's going to happen. So as you open that door and you walk into the lobby, I will tell you I found here in Arizona, at least, the real estate investing community is a mindset of abundance.
Right.
And I think that's what we have to have to survive, right? So our meeting is about the people, right? I would say more than 80% of our relationships or our business is relationships.
Right.
I found the best deals because of someone I know. I got saved from a bad deal because of someone I know, and that's where it starts.
Right.
You know, I can keep going. All right, keep going. So as you walk in this door, what's going to happen is you're going to get greeted by the front desk. So the idea here is to get you connected and understand what you're actually getting involved in. So the main meeting is the second Monday of every month at Venue 8600 in Scottsdale. So you're going to get checked in. You're going to get greeted by the staff. We usually have a volunteer or an ambassador of some sort to hold your hand and show you what's past that lobby. So when you walk past that lobby, you're going to start seeing our trade show. right? You're going to see people, first of all, which are other investors, from new investors, intermediate, experience. You never know who's who. The guy with the wrinkled shirt and the dirty jeans is probably the guy with 300 houses. So never discredit
That's
anybody.
so true. It's so true.
So talk to everybody, but you're going to see the booth. So that's our trade show. That's our business associates, and that's your real estate team, right? You can't. You can't do this yourself, and wealth is a team sport. So you need to know every single person at that booth, whether it's property manager, attorney, architect, air conditioner company, every real estate service provider you need to run a successful business is there, and you get the opportunity to ask them questions. They're vetted. They've been with us for years. So at least, even if you don't use them, they're there to answer your questions, give you their perspective, and it's a great starting point, right? You can get into this business and protect your money with the right group of people.
Right. And I'm not the most outgoing person, not the most funny person. I don't really have great approaches. But when I was there the other night, I just went up to a few people and said, hey, I'm David Pickering. Hey, Dave, we just get talking and started getting our what we share in common and what we're doing. All of a sudden, connections we were making, and who do you use? And this is a meeting where everybody's open. Like, go up and say hi to somebody, even if it's a little bit scary, or if they're there to help you. I've sent a ton of people to REIA. One of them was starting a small management company. He's a millionaire now because he stumbled across a couple people that were kind of done managing their hundreds of properties and just like, we're done. We want to turn it over to somebody we trust. And next thing you know, he's their property manager. Now, that's a home run. And I'm not going to say every time you walk into a place you're going to hit a home run. But if you're never up to bat, and you never swing, you're never going to hit that home run. So you got to show up. You got to be where you're going to be. And one other thing I know about REIA is it's not a one meeting deal. It's not like you show up and you're going to get everything from that one meeting. This is something that I think if you go in and commit yourself to a REIA, you need to commit yourself to a year. You need to meet people. You need to do stuff outside of REIA. You need to talk to people because, like I said, there are people there that will help you. Now, after I know you come in, you get introduced, you see your vendors, you see your team they're talking about. Then inside the meeting, when you go actually inside the meeting and listen to the speaker, what is the speakers telling you?
Well, there's two different speakers that happen every month. First and foremost, it's the market update. Okay. So we always have the Cromford Report, Tina Tambor, and they break down where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going in our market, because that's essential, right? There's like Tom Chase, we have members that from the last crash, we called the last crash just because of the market update, and people were able to get out of investments and save their butt, So even during COVID, we were there educating landlords from our property management business associates where the market's at. Everyone's saying the world's dying, and we're actually doing pretty good. So there's a lot of important information in the market update. Even if you came once a month or once a quarter, just for that, it's worth being an AZREIA member.
So I'm at AZREIA a few years back, and we go in the market update, and the speaker at that point who was giving the market update says, if you can buy a home at this cost per square foot, you better buy it now, because look at this trend line. Well, I had just looked at a home that day, and it was at that price per square foot, and I was on the fence. Do you think? I made the phone call from REIA. Hey, make an offer, get that home right there. I ended up selling it a few years later for like $300,000 more. I mean, I hit that perfect bubble. Yeah. But I was on the fence until I looked at those charts going, okay. Yeah. Buy the home. And I felt more confident after that market update. And what I liked about the one the other night is, man, they're just not talking about how the Arizona real estate market's going. They're talking about interest rates, right? Bond markets. And I mean, they're going into if you like that stuff, it's Tina, right? She did a phenomenal job. And in fact, someone wanted to meet me the other night, and you pulled me out of the market update. And I was going, oh man, I know. I don't want to go on the market update. This is the best part of the meeting.
It's right. We're about connecting. So my job is to connect, and we got projects we're working on.
But so I love that market update, and I love it as a seasoned investor, right? I don't, so I'd love to just go there, and she really did all of the work for me, right? I just listened, and I'm like, okay, helps me make my decisions. Thank you.
It's it's gold. And even if you're new, and you're like, even the attention span of people, I know it's getting tough. So sitting there for 40 minutes, like chart after chart that you don't understand, it's mother's repetition of all learning. It's like you gotta just put in the work and listen and watch, ask questions. What does this mean? What you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's how I was. And then one time, this was years ago, when funny enough that when housing was getting to $200,000, I remember Alan on the market update was like, well, because we follow the end user, the Bank of America loan family. So they're like, hey, this is too expensive. Where do they go? Townhomes, condos,
yeah, there you
right?
go, yeah.
So you notice all the home buyers trending towards the townhomes.
Right.
So who's going to follow? The fix and flipper. Who's going to follow the fix and flipper? The wholesaler. So I switched all my marketing to condos, right? And I did 3 deals in 3 months. It was made a big check, whatever. I won't go into that, but
and now we're at trailers.
Oh, yeah,
right? Rehabbing trailers. I mean,
mobile homes.
I mean, there is money out there. Just because homes might be out of reach, there are other places that that you could find
the devil's in the
success
details.
in doing. Right. I mean,
at the market
you know, we
update.
talked a little bit about, you know, getting a little bit creative, and Pad Split is teaching you how to add more rooms to your house. The VRBO or Airbnb short-term market gets you more money for your property if you have to spend more to buy. I mean, there are creative ways to purchase these properties and make the payments, but you got to come learn what people are doing and how they were doing it for sure,
and how it's done right, you know, ethically, and you know. So you got to be careful also where you get this. So, information's at our fingertips. You can get it anywhere.
Yeah,
ChatGPT, Google, you name it.
Oh, I think that's such a great point, because when you have a team like you do, and the people there, you can feel. I mean, not that no one ever showed up at your property with your meetings with ill intentions. You wouldn't know that, right? But you do everything you can to make sure that everybody that's part of REIA is on the up and up. And I know background checks are part of that, and referrals and reviews, and I love how you do that. And then finally, you have, after the market update, you have a topic of the night.
Correct.
And it could be anywhere from, tell me about those topics.
All right. Yeah. Oh, it's just really our job as REIA is to pay attention to what's going on. So we try to plan the best we can to the market. So what's working, what's not working. So we try to put the speaker on that adapts to the market. So this past month, you know, we do wholesaling. We call it Wholesale January. But wholesaling, you can ride any market. All the way up, all the way down. You could always wholesale, so that's always good. But yeah, so it just depends. So we got Fix and Flip February coming up. Then we got raising money and creative strategies coming up. So it's just really what do people need, what do the members need, and that's how we'll have either a speaker, a professional on that topic, or expert panel discussion of local investors that are actually in our market doing it, and we'll have a discussion and so on. So.
Right. And I know this year, one of the things when you say build your team is you're building a trades list now at AZREIA and bringing a lot of, you know, just your local air conditioning, your plumbers. But you just can't hire any one of those nowadays either, because a lot of them are very expensive. And you got to make sure you got the one that'll make you a priority, do their background checks, make sure you have people in your tenants' homes that have been vetted. And so I know you're working really hard. And we're working together on that project to bring a great vendors list to your members. So
It's huge.
I'm telling you, I love the way that Mike runs AZREIA. I think it's phenomenal. If you are here in Arizona locally, take advantage of this opportunity. And you're not that expensive, Mike. To be a member of AZREIA is what?
$250, $249
A month?
Yeah, right. A year.
A year, right? $250 a year. Now, guys, I have a son going to law school in Idaho, and I have a daughter over at University of North Carolina. You know what I'm paying for tuition for those guys?
$250 a year.
Oh my gosh! If it can be
$250.
You know what I'm saying?
$250K.
Yeah, a year, yeah.
A lot of money. That is pennies. I don't know how you do it, but it is phenomenal. And you are a wonderful resource for local people. You know, I'm big on younger generations. You know, you've met some people around my office, and I've encouraged them to buy homes and kind of help them do investing. Some younger people around here, and we need the younger people to be involved in AZREIA, right? I mean, I love our old, you know, people who've been at it for years. I think they're fantastic, genuine. I love it. But the future is in these younger kids. And so if you're, 40 and below, and you want to do something you wanted to do all your life, and that is be a landlord, fix and flip, buy wholesale, Mike's organization, AZREIA, is where you need to be.
Can I touch on that?
Yeah.
I know you're giving me a compliment. But
Yeah, I'll stop.
Two things though, right? So one, the younger generation. What we're seeing is even in our comments and our social media, people are like, this is BS. You can't buy a house. Houses are too expensive. Interest rates. So then you also have like the people online that spread the agenda of don't buy a house, be free, go rent, go travel the world, right? Buy your house. Right, like that's what you're hearing now, right? Is that agenda being pushed? So we want to stop that first off, because houses double every 10 to 12 years. So even if you're 20 years old, I'm telling my son to get a house, right? You buy a house, you go to college, go rent, go be free, rent the thing out. 30 years old, when you're settling down with the family, you're going to have a nest egg to tap into or sell or have a low mortgage payment compared to what's going to happen in the future. Yep. So that's one. And I was just at a coffee meeting right before this with Jeff, and we were talking about just us even buying the house for our kids now. So if you're over 40, right? Hey, it is. We want our kids to do it on their own and all that. But at some level in my head, I'm like, I have a house in Central Phoenix. My mortgage payment is $1,300, like 30-year. You know what I mean? Like right now, you can't live in that neighborhood for $2,500 to $3,000.
Right.
So it's like. That's even helping your kids. Yeah. So remember what age you're at.
And I do have a house for each of my kids,
Amazing.
But I'm not going to give that to them.
Yeah,
right? They're still going to buy it from me, but probably at a discounted price for them. But still, what I bought them for years ago, home run to me. Right?
Yep.
And so a win-win. So I agree with you. But, hey, this isn't about buying your kids' houses and doing all that stuff. They need to get out and learn to work, and they need to get out and get to AZREIA. And the more my kids focus on investing and are smart with their money, guess what? The more Dad helps them. The more they're off buying coffees and, just blowing money, the less Dad helps them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It goes down to education.
Yeah.
They got to understand. Yeah, because even right now, even if you don't think it's possible with the seller carryback, subject to understanding how to find sellers that are willing to sell at a discount and why, it's all happening every single day.
It is. And there is a generation that is getting ready to retire.
Yeah.
They don't want all the money up front for tax reasons. And there are a ton of people that will carry these homes.
I'm negotiating one right now.
Yeah. So get in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
It's possible. And you're right. It is an excuse to say, live free, live fancy. It's because you don't believe you can tackle this. I believe that younger generation can tackle this.
Yes.
Whether homes are $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, I believe they can tackle this because there's a generation ahead of them or two generations ahead of them that will help them do it.
There you go.
And you'll find those guys at AZREIA, AZREIA.org. Mike, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
It's been a fantastic guest. Thank you, Scotty.
We're gonna put the link to your stuff and your membership in the notes, so people can find you real easy.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No trades? Want to go?
Hey, whatever.
Talk about trades?
Yeah. That's why I thought I was here. Let's do it, man.
Okay, tell me about your experience with trades so far.
No, with trades in general, as a real estate investor, they're hard to find, right? So it's like, or they're so busy, like they don't need to have this. I don't want to talk for everybody, but like a lot of them are mom and pop, so to speak. So it's like they just follow the business, they chase the business, they're busy, and when as an investor, you can't always get that same crew or that same guy. If you're, especially if you're unless you're doing multiple flips, that's why a lot of investors try to get a lot of projects going so they can keep everyone on the team and rolling. But if you're just doing one, flip a quarter, whatever it is, you don't have that. Or if you're a landlord, yes, sometimes people aren't around or they're busy, there's an emergency. So like I was getting at, wealth is a team sport. You need to have trustworthy people. I had a flip in Sedona, rental in Sedona and a flip in Mayor. And if I didn't have reliable trades, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. And just going on, so getting referrals is huge from other real estate investors in the community. So I definitely roll with that. But however, what do we do when we want to go see a movie or even find a trades? We're like Yelping, we're Googling. But that's what I like about Vendor VIP. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
I'm doing that for you. You know, we're finding them for you. So, yeah. So the good guys. Most people know who the good guys are, and the good guys are busy.
Very busy.
They're busy.
Yep.
And we wish we could duplicate them, but we're actually losing small mom and pop AC, plumbing, electrical, pool care. I mean, What's happening is this private equity has so much money. They're buying up all of these companies, all these AC companies and all these plumbing companies. And then they sit behind the door and they look at their books and they see how they can juice up the profits so they can turn around and sell this company in a couple of years. And so they're teaching people how to double their profit, which is double your expense on fixing whatever. So you have the vendors out there that will be happy to come over anytime because they're going to really charge you double. And then you have the ones that you love that are really busy. And so the concept that we're doing here at AZREIA and Vendor VIP is if I can get you 4 and 5 mom and pops and then let the system tap all the mom and pops to say, hey, can you help Mike Del Prete today? And now you're not just calling one, it's calling 5 for you. Yeah, I can do it. And then they step in and help you. So wouldn't you love to have 5 small mom and pop AC companies other than one big one that's going to charge you double? They'll come out every time. I'd rather have saved my money and have these 5 come out. So
and you're seeing what other investors are using. You could leave your own review. And I just used Atomic pest control.
Right.
So tenant had a termite thing
Little
coming
tube,
through.
yeah.
The tubes coming through. Yeah. He called my tenant. They handled it out. Said, hey, this is what it's going to be.
Right.
Paid it. Did the appointment with the tenant. Tenant sent me a text, which I'm going to put in the review. Her a testimonial that I didn't even ask her. She was like, hey, Mike, bam, this was great. So it was a great experience.
And then here's what's cool is you're going to get to review them as a landlord.
Yep.
And she gets to review them as a tenant.
Yeah,
so they're actually going to get 2 reviews on the job from the tenant side
I didn't know. Okay.
and from your side. So you know to be nice to everybody, right? You're not going to be in there and be a jerk to my tenant. You're going to go in there and take care of them. They're going to review you. And so,
So did you ever have to go to the property for that?
No.
It was a click.
No,
they all work, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, I was thinking about it because if I see if I'm scrolling through the reviews and I see Dave, if you know of Dave used it. Yeah. All right, I'll get. You're gonna get that in there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought it over.
Yeah,
man.
no,
excited.
it's awesome.
So.
And and then listen, I'm the founder of Vendor VIP, and it's actually owned by another background check company of ours. And I do review everybody. You're going to see my name on there a lot, and it's not because I use all these guys. This is my team, right? And before I bring them to my friends or I bring them to AZREIA members, I make sure I use them. I see their prices. And I've actually had, and I don't want to name their company, I had an electrical company come over and help me, and they handed me the bill, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm referring these guys, right? These are one of the guys I was telling you about that's out to get you, but they came across as a smaller mom and pop, and electrical guys, they're hard to find. Like small electrical guys, that's the one that I'm really having a hard time finding. And
it goes back to people again, right? Because old school coming up in real estate was always like, I'm not sharing my best team because I need them for me, right? Like, I think that mindset's gone, and because you can upload your own vendors onto there as well, and you get more options. So if yours is busy,
I think we're helping people to get rid of that because you're hanging on to one.
Yeah,
I have 5.
5 good ones.
I have 5 good ones, right?
Exactly.
So I don't need to hang on to 5. You can use this one. You can use this one because I'm sure when I need one of these 5, someone's going to be available for me. So this whole mindset of me hanging on to vendors, I've let that go.
Yeah. And thanks for letting me talk about AZREIA today. But I just really think that's just a huge part of our business. You can't do this. You have to have those professionals going, hey, I see this. I know you called me for this, but see that, and you just need that.
Right.
If it wasn't for the insurance property manager, those are, and the contractors, those are the people that actually make a deal that you might not think is a deal. So that's why I really I'm excited about this trades list.
Well, Mike, I love that. You came on today. We wanted to just show all the great things you're doing. You say, hey, it's not about me. You turn it right back over. We actually probably do 2 podcasts in one. One on get to your REIA and get your real estate career going. Your second one is we're a team, and you need teams, and you need vendors. And that's why you and I get along so well, is because you just think about others, and you always want to talk about what other people are doing. But this is a great guy to know. Get to AZREIA. AZREIA.org has a complete schedule. And listen, they have these subgroups. Okay, if you go to the main meeting, it's the big meeting. Go there, meet people, whatever. If you end up saying, I want to be a landlord, go to the landlord subgroup. You want to be a fix and flipper, go to the fix and flip subgroup. All of those guys are in their little subgroups, and they are the people that want to be in your specific investment. Those are awesome subgroups to be a part of. So I can't say enough. We won't go on to a third podcast. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Mike, thank you so much,
you.
Scott. Appreciate all you do for us. And until next time, continue to rent. Perfect.